Howdy there, folks. Welcome to Part 9 of Metroid Zero Mission, the actual final part. So when we last left off, we made it to this weird mural thing where we saw Samus have some flashbacks to her childhood with the Chozo people, her Chozo foster parents. And now this Chozo ghost from Metroid Prime, perhaps? I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it held some kind of mirror thing, and Samus shows up in this floating orb thing in the middle. And I guess you could call this a boss. The gimmick, as you've been seeing, is that you have to wait until it shows the little ruin thing, and then you shoot it with your emergency pistol. If you shoot at it while it's just showing Samus in the orb thing, then, well, as you just saw, you'll shoot yourself and do damage to yourself. I wouldn't even really call this a boss, per se. It's really not that hard. 4 shots and you win. And so now we are fully powered up. We've gotten all those unknown items we've been finding throughout the game. We finally have access to them all. The first of which that you just saw was the space jump. We can now jump as much as we want in the air without any problems. The other one is, well, the gravity suit. In other words, Samus is now purple. She also can move entirely freely underwater, which is critical for getting a lot of power-ups. And she also takes less damage, and yeah, it's pretty swell. The final thing, or the final unknown item that we got access to was the plasma beam. Now, I've been saying throughout the whole entire game that each beam upgrade slightly raises the overall power of the default beam, except for the final one. And I'm not lying, this is indeed the case. The final beam doesn't only slightly raise the power of the beam cannon. Oh no, it makes it super fucking strong. Like, you're gonna one-shot mostly anything you shoot with it strong. And it fires through multiple enemies. The plasma beam kicks all kinds of ass. And we're now fully powered up, which means we can get complete and total revenge on these fuckers for all that stealth bullshit we had to go through last part. Fuck you, space pirates. We're the best, I guess. I don't know. It's great blowing through these things, and it's amazing how fast you're able to actually kill them. Chozodia has a shitload of power-ups all throughout it. I'm not getting all of them. I'm not even really looking for most of them. I am, however, grabbing about 5 or so missile tanks that are just on the way to where we gotta go. Metroid Zero Mission, to 100% it, you have to do an obnoxious amount of backtracking at the very end of the game. And I mean the absolute very end. Technically, we can't even do the backtracking that we need to yet, even though we are almost at the very end. No, there is still one more power-up we need to get in order to get out of Chozodia and get back to Crateria and then Norfair and Brinstar and all that. But we do not have this power-up yet. It was the one that one space pirate stole and ran off with while we were Zero Suit Samus. So we gotta hunt that down. I'm not going back to those areas because, as I was about to say, you have to do an obnoxious amount of backtracking. Like, there are so many power-ups that I'm skipping just in Chozodia. Because, well, there's just too many. There's just too many, and honestly, I'm already overpowered. I didn't need any more power-ups to finish the game. That tube right there that we just ran past, after we get the final upgrade, the final item in the game, you have to go back to there and use it in that tube thing in order to get access back to Crateria. Just figured I'd point that out because I'm not showing it off. But if you're wanting 100% completion, well, that's what you gotta do. Us, though, nah, we're pretty good. We're just gonna decimate shitloads of space pirates. like that and move on. Oh, the black space pirates, though. I guess they're the elite space pirates? I don't know. They're a bitch to kill. They're like the only thing, other than these circle things flying around right here, that, well, and then I guess the garbage can robots, but we'll see them in a minute. Other than those two things, those are the only things that don't die in one shot from the plasma beam, but the plasma beam's the only thing that can hurt them. And so really, they're a huge pain in the ass. It's not worth the effort. Just ignore them. Because there are only two in this game that you actually have to fight, and not until a little while later. That garbage can robot thing is indestructible. You can't kill it, and I forget how it works here for a minute, so it takes me a little bit to get past this one. Basically, once it starts walking, it won't stop until it comes in contact with either you or a wall, and then it'll stop and go down into its default position type thing. I forget this, and yeah. So I'm stuck up here in this little crack for a little bit. I believe right there is where I figure out, and I'm like, can I, like, clip through it, please? I just want to go. When they are walking, you can actually shoot them in the back with a missile or a super missile, and it'll make them move faster. So, there is that. But, yeah. I'm an idiot. I know, I'm an idiot. And I've got so many super missiles now that I don't even care. I should be switching back to regular missiles to just blow up like the red doors and shit, but I don't care. See, I pick up something like 5 super missile tanks on my way to the final battle, to the final boss of the game. And that's just because they happen to more or less be on the way. I don't really need them. Huzzah is pretty huge, as you can see, but anyway. Again, elite space pirates, ignore them. They're not worth the time to kill. They do an okay amount of damage to you, and, well, they're just annoying. Ignore them. Oh, it's so satisfying. I love the plasma beam. Also, space jump plus screw attack equals win as well. Because the screw attack is so powerful. Get out of the way, you stupid garbage can. But because the screw attack is so powerful, it destroys shit as well. Those circular, I don't even know what they're supposed to be, but they're circles and they shoot lightning bolts at you. You can't kill them with the plasma beam. You can screw attack into them though, which is pretty nice. Well, I say that, but, you know, I think it's the only way to kill them. I don't think you can do it with missiles either. I might be mistaken. Don't quote me on that. It doesn't really matter. We're really just trying to get to the last area of the game as quickly as we can because, well, there's nothing for me to say. Luckily, we are almost there, but still. Those things, those circle things. You can't kill them with the beam. I don't think you can use missiles on them either. Maybe bombs will do it, but I kind of doubt it. But it doesn't matter because screw attack kills them. After all, the screw attack is badass. I will say, the space jump is a little hard to get the timing down for. Really, you're just mashing the jump button. But what I mean is that it's not as easy to do as in, say, Super Metroid. I know in Super Metroid, I've mentioned this before, but Samus actually is a lot more floaty with her jumping than in this game, and that actually makes the space jump a little easier to do as well. There's the final power-up we need, the power bombs. Surrounded by trip lasers, you can actually get over the top of the trip lasers with the space jump, but I have no idea why you would care enough to do that. But the power bombs are super powerful bombs that destroy power bomb blocks, open up yellow doors, which are very rare in this game. And they also destroy regular bomb blocks. They're also really strong, but only against certain things. They're more a situational thing than anything. But you do need them if you're looking to 100% the game, obviously. But what I mean is you're going to need them in the previous areas like Brinstar, Norfair, Kraid, Ridley, all those places. To the right of the room where you got the power bomb tank is another room that has another power bomb tank. Power bombs are actually all over Chozodia, like there are a shitload. But to just beat the game, you only really need the first one. But, you know, the second tank is right there, right next to it, so I figured I'd grab that as well, so I have 4 instead of just 2. Not that it matters, because we can't use them on any bosses or anything. Anyway, this is the final save point before the final boss of the game. We're finally there, folks. It's finally time for us to finish up Metroid Zero Mission. My favorite Metroid game. I love this, but, you know, it's time to end it. We gotta get back to Legend of Dragoon. We gotta keep going with Pokemon. It's time to end the Metroid game once and for all. We can't get to the final boss without the power bombs, though, in case you're curious. But anywho, through this door is the final boss. The hell? Something sure is clanking. What the fuck is that thing? Oh my god! It is Robo Ridley. For those saying, no, that's Mecha Ridley. No, I don't believe so. I'm pretty sure this is just a robot that's shaped like Ridley. But anywho, this is the final boss of the game. As you see, you have to hit the blinking glowy light in his chest, but his neck is usually down to where you can't just hit it with a missile or super missile. Go with super missiles. Come on, you got plenty by this point. And he fires 3 missiles at you and shoots lasers out of his eyes. The problem with him is, he is fucking pathetic. That is it. I am not kidding. That was the final boss, folks. That's all there is to him. He is not hard in any way. And now we have 5 minutes to escape from the space pirate mothership. Admittedly, kind of like the escaping from the Turian with Mother Brain, they give you way more time than what you need. But yeah, really, that was the final boss. I am not kidding. That was the final boss of Metroid Zero Mission. Really fucking pathetic. I mean, really pathetic. Even without abusing the super missiles, which you're going to. I mean, you'd have so many by this point. I didn't even go out of my way to find a whole bunch here in Chozodia, and I had 20. You know, he's not hard at all. You should have no trouble with him whatsoever. The projectiles he kicks out, they don't matter. Just shoot him with the plasma beam if you're worried about him, or ignore them. I have no advice other than use super missiles. You'll be done before you know it. It's nothing. In fact, there's actually a mandatory, not really a boss battle, but a mandatory encounter coming up here in a few seconds. That it's actually a fuck ton harder than that was. Really disappointed with that. Mother Brain was fucking pathetic, but it was at least more difficult than Robo Ridley there. And you may recall a hangar-type room, we're actually coming up on it, that had a little indicator on the map showing, like, spaceships and shit, and we've seen it a few times now while going through this area. But that's where we gotta go, because our spaceship is gone. It's been destroyed. We don't have a spaceship anymore. So, well, obviously, we have to take one of the space pirates' spaceships. It's only fair. They blew ours up. We may as well take one of theirs, right? But that's where you gotta go. It's not just escape from the space pirate mothership. You actually gotta get to this room and defeat these 2 elite space pirates. This is actually harder than Robo Ridley. Seriously, this is actually much more difficult than fighting Robo Ridley. I took a shitload more damage to them. Fuck Robo Ridley. And folks, that was it. That was Metroid Zero Mission. Such a fantastic experience, especially for the GBA. I love this game. I'm not a huge Metroid nut, as I'm sure everyone's aware throughout this playthrough. I'm not a huge Metroid nut, but I love this game. I love this game, and I actually do like the Metroid series quite a bit. It's very fun. This game isn't very hard, though. If I am going to criticize it, it's not very hard. With that said, though, and I mentioned it previous part, there is actually a hard mode after you've beaten the game. You just reload the file, or start a new game plus, I guess it's called, and you can choose hard mode, and it starts the game fresh, only everything's harder. And so, if you like this game, like I do, but you find it too easy, play it in hard mode. And it is a lot harder. Shit takes way more to kill, and you get... Each missile tank, each regular missile tank only gives you 2 missiles. So it actually is a fuck-ton harder. But yeah, overall, a great experience. I think this is the best Metroid game that's been made to date. And I love this game so much. Just so fucking much. And this Endling... did I really just say Endling? And this ending theme I love as well. I love all the music in this game. Favorite Metroid soundtrack? But all good things do have to come to an end. And this is indeed the end of Metroid Zero Mission.